Good morning, fellow South Africans. And one of the advantages of being a historian and spending a lot of time researching the history of the Khoi and the San, and having put that in my book, Children of the Mist, is that I have some very interesting subscribers to my channel, and some who represent those communities. And in the video that I've attached here, a bushman woman, she's a San, she speaks fluent English, she's obviously been very well educated, but she speaks very highly of the life of the Bushmen under the white government, and then she compares that to how terrible it is now for the Bushmen under post-1994. And then she reflects that the Bushmen, or the San, and the Khoi, or the Hottentots, were the original indigenous people in South Africa. And there's no question about that. No one can ever dispute that. And she talks about the impact that a black government has had on the original descendants of Southern Africa. They're the ones who should actually be in government, the Khoi and the San, not the Bantus that came through from the north. But I'll let her make those points. But I thank her very, very much for sending me this video. It's a very, very important video, and it's addressed personally to Cyril Ramaphosa, and telling quite a few home truths. And it's a fairly lengthy video, but for anyone who's interested in a Bushman's perspective or a San's perspective of South African history and the impact of a black government on their people, you have to watch this. Okay? And don't forget to subscribe to be kept informed. You can subscribe just below. Take care and have a lovely day.
Good afternoon, good day. This is Oma Busman woman, a San woman from southern part of Africa, indigenous people person. I'm here to talk to Ramaphosa and Malema and African leaders, South especially, just southern part. Let me just clarify that, southern part of Africa. So you are sending a message. Ramaphosa answer Trump have sent a message on Twitter to say that he's going to make sure that the Secretary of State of America, Mike Pompeo, is going to check into the issue of South Africa. So South Africa issue being that the black government wants expropriation of land without compensation. So, so Trump have white families there, because whites are, related. Just like blacks are related to the other upper side of Africa where they invaded from. So the blacks are related where they invaded from the, European side and stuff like that. So Trump have sent that message. So Ramaphosa came up and answered Trump with the words that, why Trump is worried about that, and it's a long story, and he's talking about the indigenous people of America, which were being referred to Indians. I think wrongly, because the Indians, they are not the Indians from the India which we know. These are they are totally different people. The looks is also different. So, but they were being called the Indians. Somebody just write in a mistake Indians. Like they will make a call like the Bushmen and the Khoi San. There is nothing like that. There is no Bushmen and the Khoi San. Khoi means people, and San means the all the Bushmen. Like the race Bushmen. So you can't be two Khoisan and the Bushmen people. It's still one thing which is sounding as different though. So anyway, so Ramaphosa is telling Trump that Trump must take out his nose from South Africa because South Africa belongs to the people in South Africa. But he's telling Trump in the meantime that the indigenous people of America are the Indians, and he's kind of giving Trump information that he don't belong there. He also invaded. He's in a country which has been invaded and stuff like that. You see where I'm coming from? So and then here Ramaphosa says that South Africa belongs to everybody. He makes it he kind of make it so smooth to say South Africa belongs to everybody who is in South Africa. But what here Ramaphosa is really forgetting, because I know for sure, I have read in some of his biographies and stuff like that, he has studied history. I don't know, so he kind of dismissed the history of the white man. Okay, that is fair enough if you decide the history of the white man was not the right one. And what about the history that our ancestors was telling us around the fire, as Bushmen, that we know about our history, that we have been taught? Our history is that the blacks have also invaded and killed us equally, like the whites have done. So you are also invaders, according to ancestors. And what about Shaka Zulu, who came to the time when Shaka Zulu was killing? That's the thing they don't do. They don't tell the whole history about Shaka Zulu. They just pick up the part that Shaka Zulu was killing the whites, who sound so good. But Shaka Zulu was actually killing also the indigenous people of Southern Africa. Okay, they say we are the nomadics and we are moving around. Even if you are nomadics, you are still having a place that you are coming there. They still have a place that they are coming back to. So that is the problem, the narrative being pushed here, that there's Africa is belonging to Africa and all the Africans. No, Africa is a continent. It's a big continent. I think Africa follow America. Africa is very big. So you're going to tell that, America, I think South and North America both, or just North America, but, the whole America no, I said South and West, yeah. So that is what I'm trying to say here, is that America is a big, big country, they call it country. So Africa is also a continent, very big one. So I think Africa follow after America, the biggest, So, guys, if I make a mistake here, just correct me. But if my, map and memory don't fail me, that's where I'm coming to. So here is coming. So, but, the point here is about the Africa is a big place. Why? They are so narrow. They are so small countries in Europe and overseas, which is sharing borders. Chinese are sharing borders with the Russians. Chinese are sharing borders with the Koreans. But those people look alike. So us, we are looking different. So why can't we share? Why was there no difference between us and you? Because the characters and the lifestyle and everything, you are not hunters like us. We have been hunting for decades. So you guys are not hunters. So you cannot say that you are just like us. There is a big difference. There's totally a big difference between us and you guys. So you come here and tell Trump he mustn't mingle in your business, but you denying the indigenous people of Africa, of Southern Africa. You are denying the indigenousness of us as Bushmen, as San people of Southern Africa. And you don't want to give that right to us as the indigenous people. But you're going to stand on the world stage and going to acknowledge the indigenousness of the Indians. So what type of hypocrisy is that? You still want to keep us, because blacks in southern part of Africa have invaded and killed our people, genocide our people for land. They still keep our people in slavery today. Nobody is talking about that. Our people are under their watch. So Ramaphosa is standing on the world stage and telling everybody that Trump must not say that, because the land America belongs to the indigenous people. But he, which is hypocrite himself, Ramaphosa, he did not tell that South Africa belongs to the indigenous people. Southern part of Africa, I don't know where is actually our, most likely it's Zambia. You can say our Zambia, Zimbabwe, all that All our people in Zimbabwe and Zambia, you cannot talk. There is nobody like. But the president of Zambia, as I'm talking now, I'm talking in 2018, the president right now in Zambia is totally looking like a bushman. The president of Zambia looks like a bushman, but they all of them deny that there is bushmen, and there was bushmen before them. So can you guys, go dig out the graves if you don't want to accept the history of the bushmen. And our ancestor, this history, the book's history was also not just written by the white men. The white men have come to our ancestors and asked us, and our ancestors was telling the story. So this history in the books is not just white men coming to write. You can tell many things white men have come and asked our ancestors. There were stories, they were sitting there, our ancestors was storytelling. They tell exactly how the blacks have come. They tell, I mean, that's what is on our mountains. They even went to the mountains and draw the pictures, how the blacks and whites have come and killed them, how they chase after them. So what is there that only the white men, is it only white men who has intelligence? Is it only white men who can think? Because every created creature is having mind to think. So we cannot think, why are you really, that's slavery, mind slavery. You are slaving us so much at you because we are soft-hearted people. We are not killers and whatever. We don't fight like the Africans from northern, the black Africans, which have even sold out their American. Blacks have been slave master ever since, before even white men come. Blacks was already slave masters themselves, and that is the agenda they are trying to hide. So that is the agenda that I'm trying to expose here, that blacks were slave masters themselves from the beginning of who knows when. So there is coming Ramaphosa from South Africa, and he has nerves to tell Trump that about African Americans, about the Indians in America, that they are the indigenous. But themselves, he don't want to acknowledge the indigenous people. Of even the UN have say the indigenous people has the indigenous right. But them in South Africa, they don't want to tell or in Southern Africa, they don't want to tell about the indigenous people's right. They enslave the indigenous people. They don't want to hear anything about the indigenous people. And Ramaphosa and the black presidents and whatever in Southern Africa who have slaved the indigenous people in Southern Africa is not telling the truth. The Mandela, where the tribe that Mandela, it's not a tribe, it's a race that Mandela is coming from. That's why you could see Mandela was forgiving her. That's why Mandela was exclusive. That is where we are coming from. That is our race in Southern Africa. That's why you see Mandela is not a black man. You can see in his face, he has the cheekbones like myself, big cheekbones. That's what we have, right? And we are not dark people. We are light. Google Bushmen, San people of Southern Africa. People Google, because this is a story which is not known. This is the story, it is not known. And blacks are pushing a propaganda, and they will say, yeah, it's a white man wash. Your black presidents are being enslaved right now. They have been enslaved by the Chinese. They are sold out to the Chinese, your black presidents. That is what your presidents are doing now. They are dogs of Chinese. That's what they are right now. Chinese are, pulling the strings. They are the puppies of the Chinese. So I'm here to tell you that actually, this story about the black people. Black people have invaded the indigenous people on Southern Africa, and it's not be told. And because those people is not people they are not like blacks, or they are not like white. They are not people who is into fight. They are not like people who is going to stand there in the street and say, Bushman lives matter. It's not like that. And jumping on people's cars and bend out. They are not like that. They are very reserved, quiet people. They are not people who is fighting. They are not people who is loud. They don't even speak loud. They don't even complain. They are introverts kind of people. So Ramaphosa is telling Trump about the indigenous people. But the same Ramaphosa is denying the indigenous right here in South Africa. And he wants to take the land from the white people. But in the same time, that Ramaphosa knows that when the blacks came in southern part of Africa, they took their land. They are taking their land. So actually what is happening and why I feel that I'm standing out for the whites is when the blacks came over and every blacks took their land and whites have took their land. But what happened is as the blacks have take over power over every country in southern Africa, they kick out the white men, they are destroying our race also. They are destroying totally our race. So wherever the whites was having power, the whites was taking in these people because these people are hunters. They are not peoples of the shop. Their shops is in the nature. They will go in the field, hunt their animals, make their clothes. That is the way we grown up. That is the way also I grew up. We were making our dresses from animal skin. So that is what we were wearing, and that is what we were eating. We went to the field, to the bush, and gathering, food and things like that. We women would go and get fruits and veggies and stuff from the nature and from the bush, so-called bush. But it was our life. That's why I call it my paradise, my life, my love. Why should you do that to my people? Why should you put my people under slavery? Still today, my race is being raped. They have been, small girls is been sleep, 7 years old, 8 years old, small girls is been slave, small girls is been taken into slavery as work. That's what they are doing. They take our small girls into slavery. 8 girls, 9 years has to go and look after other women's children. And she's only been paid for food. That's what they are doing. Their children has to go to school. I have example. The house that I was living next to was having a small bushman girl. Small bushman girl with like her daughter was the same age. Then they started up with this bushman girl gave problem. And their child, but she was still there. And she was actually, every day if I opened the house where I was living at, she's the only one on the line, hanging clothes. She was the only one running to the store. She was really very flexible. I saw it, she was like Adlek. She was running. That girl was running. So she was, the other girl, the BANTU black girl was just sitting there and just eating. And everybody was like, oh, such and such and such and such. She was such a, no untouched. She was not touchable. But this bushman girl was doing everything. Everything. This woman was even having a business. And this bushman girl was running that business too. So small as she was. Why are you doing that to others? Why are the Bantu still doing that to the Bushmen? Why are you doing that? Why are you still keeping the slave? Ramaphosa, our people are slave, but you don't have to answer Trump anything. Trump is actually right. By him coming up for his people, he's actually coming up for us, the slaves by the blacks. Actually, only people really so far who have still protect the Bushmen are the whites. I have the records. I know what was happening. I know what was happening. Myself, I know what was happening in. Before independence and everything, I was also an activist. I know what I'm talking about. Now you are taking even the farm that I was growing up. A Bantu is in charge of that farm. You are taking, and then our people are going to the towns. They become useless. They just ring around and do nothing. But this people was doing lot of stuff, projects with the Bushmen, lot of projects. And Bushmen love the white men, and the white men love the Bushmen. You are saying that we are sold out. I mean, you got to be care about the Zumas and everybody. You got to be caring about, you got to be caring about you coming in, black government, and steal the money white men have with saved. That's what you got to be concerned about. The money that the white men have saved, black government, you come and steal and put your people under poverty. We were not that poor under the white men. No, everybody was at least having something to eat. At least for the tummy, there was something. So today you are keeping our people under slavery. You are keeping our people, and then you don't want to say that. You don't want to talk that. progressive over the world in America, you are telling them a lie and telling them you are the indigenous people, but you don't tell your progressive like you are saying we got our independence through ourselves and the progressives. The progressives, you don't tell them a lie, you don't tell them a truth. And that progressive are also putting a narrative. That's what they are doing in America. They are putting a narrative that, the blacks were never... Blacks was even the slave master for the African Americans. They are the ones who tied them up and gave them to the white men. And it was just not the white men who slaved them. Arabs were also slaving them. That's what I'm saying. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this one-sided hypocrisy history. I'm not buying that. Even today in Southern Africa, when they write the history, they just write the history before independence. Mind you, blacks, when you go into your activism and it was Russia was helping you, Chinese was helping you enter the doors that my people did not enter. My people were killed by you, the blacks and whites, equally for the land, and my people did not enter any doors. My people did not have any firearms to kill. Until the whites have come and also give them firearms to, when the Dutch was fighting the Germans, and that's the time they were giving, then the Dutch would give them to fight you know what I mean? That was the time. But you blacks were going out to your ancestral land, to northern part of Africa, and you could fight from there. We could not fight. That's why we were defeated, because we were facing the firearms with the white men. We were facing your weapons. You were not having, but you were having asahais. You fight with asahais. That's what you were fighting with. These big what do you call, big knives. When I met first in my life, when I first met the black men, that's what they were carrying on their bodies. That was the thing. They were keeping that weapon to fight. We were just, we didn't carry any. We were having our bows and stuff like that. Arrows, and that is what we were having. But when I met a black man first in my life, that's what they were carrying. And I could see in the faces of Bushmen, they were so much afraid of these people. So I just came to a conclusion. I'm not going to be afraid of you guys. I'm not going to be, because to die is one-way street. It's one ticket. It's not two. Whatever you do. But the truth need to be told. You are liars. That's what I'm trying to say. You are hypocrites. Ramaphosa standing on the stage and saying about the whites must go out and the whites must give the land. But when you came, Chaka Zulu, what about Kwazulu Natal? Chaka Zulu took a lot of land. Blacks have took a lot of land. By then, we didn't even know about ownership of land until the whites and the blacks have come and make land ownership. We didn't know, because the land was just separatist, and we were actually living that no borders and just living our own life until you blacks came and make your own borders. You make borders before the white men even make borders, because that, when you call it my village, that's the border right there. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And you want the white men to give up the farms where they are employing the indigenous people of the land. That is not just the place of the white men. Bushmen are also going there and call it the home. The moment you take that thing out, you are kicking them out. You are kicking them out. And these are the indigenous, these are the rightful owners of the land. Non-black, you don't have the right on that land, as the white men don't have the right on the... What about you blacks have took the lands? What about the lands, the parts of Africa, Southern Africa you have took? Now you want to kick out everywhere the white men, and then you are destroying our existence as the San people. Not all the Sans people is like me, or facing like me, or sitting here and reason. Many don't even know they are the indigenous people. And you are destroying them. Destroying them. You are destroying their existence. That is why I'm telling you blacks, you are liars. You are hypocrites. Telling Trump about their these indigenous people of America. It was white which was writing the history. Now you are acknowledging that history, but you don't want to acknowledge the history of the Bushmen in Southern Africa, which was written also by their talking to the white men. White men have not come and know everything about that. They talk with us. Our ancestors have telling, most of our ancestors did not even go to school. They were telling us about the history. They didn't even meet a white man. Most of them did not even meet white people. And they were telling us the story. Now you are saying that America can have indigenous people, and southern part of Africa cannot have indigenous people, and you don't want to talk about that, and you say everybody belongs here. And what about us? What about us? You are saying everybody belongs there. So in America too, everybody belongs in America too. Why do you bring up the indigenous people of America, but you are denying our indigenousness? The same UN rights is there, that us, the indigenous people's rights, must be acknowledged and be respected. But you don't do that. Why do you want America to do that, but you don't want to do that? It's a left foot and the right foot. It's the same food. Why do you want America to acknowledge the indigenousness of Indians, so-called Indians, which is the indigenous people of America, but you don't want to acknowledge our indigenous on this end? So what are you trying to make up of this? You are hypocrites. And Malema, you don't even know anything. You are trying to make America and actually Africa one. You don't even want to acknowledge our indigenous and say brainwash. I mean, this is a God-given right. That us is also having. I mean, mind you, these are the oldest people. So these oldest people cannot have a place to call home in Africa. That's what you are trying to tell me. Because these people are not like suicide bombers. Because these people are not like going in the street and say Black Lives Matter. That's why you have that right to enslave them. That's why you feel like you can step on them, trap on them, poop on them, everything that you want to do. That's why you feel like you can do that. Because these people is not going to be loud and suicide bomb you like the Arabs. That's why you don't go to northern part of Africa, to the Arabs, the countries that the Arabs has took over from you. You don't go there. You don't talk anything about that because you know what's going to happen that very night with you. You know the suicide bombers, how they play their games. They don't play it like that. So you know that. So now you're going to enslave the Bushmen. You're going to enslave the Bushmen and equally enslave the black people in southern. But you enslave the Bushmen and equally enslave the white people. Where you are just destroying the white people, our race are dying because of the white men Bushmen are. I myself have studied activism with the black. I know exactly. I didn't know the broader picture. My people was always talking about the indigenous and all those things. But as a student, as you grown up, you get into this, against the white people. But as I have come to my sense and read this whole story and see your agenda is poop. It's lies, it's worms, it's flies. It's not doing it. It's not true. You are selling a lie card. There's a card, a black man slavery card is the lie card that you are selling. I'm not buying it. It's not true. You self are slave master black people just like equally like the white men. What is there that you don't understand? What is there that is so important that you doing that the white men did not do? And why, if you both are criminals, why do you want to take the land from the other criminals and then still want to give it to another criminal? You want to take the land from the white people and you want to give it to the blacks, while the blacks, when they came, they also took. So the white men, they're going to do their cultural thing, make the place beautiful and progressive and productive. Now, when the white blacks are getting the farms, everything dry up. Everything dry up. Nothing they want to do. They don't want to maintain the farm. They don't want to do anything. There is no progress. And then they don't even pay the Bushmen, which is their slaves. They are not paying the Bushmen, which is their slave, and don't even give the land to the indigenous people. Taking the land right into the eyes from the indigenous people. Buying them over with drunk and take their land. Go and give alcohol. That is what your presidents are doing. Giving them little food. That's what your president. Can they be called presidents of other mafias? Help me out here. Are they mafias or are they presidents? Go sit down somewhere, Ramaphosa. African leaders in Southern Africa, go sit down somewhere. You are not the father of the nation. Mandela is not the father of the nation. Mandela was a child of the Bushmen. Mandela was self the child of the Bushmen. He's coming from the Bushman race. Why should he be the father? Because before him there was already our father. So nobody of you guys are father of us. We had our fathers, which have also died in the hands of the white men, and which have also died in the hands of the black men. None of you are fathers of our nation. You are not qualifying that. You are not qualifying anything like father of the nation. Not under my watch. You are criminals. You slave them. You just did the same thing. And even how can you, if I come to your place and you are already there, how can I label myself as a father of which nation? Be a father of the nation there in your corner, not in around us. And that was my take. Share this video. And that is actually the message that I'm sending to Ramaphosa, ANC, SWAPOs, and the Zimbabweans and the Zambians. You guys are slave masters. You have invaded us and killed us equally. Blacks, you are slave masters. That is my take on this video. Share it, and until then, bye-bye. God bless.